I am at the fortress. When I came up here yesterday, I realised that it was 4:30 and the castle closed at 5, and to get a ticket up to the grounds and even to get views like this behind me, you need to pay €18. So I didn't think it was worth it for half an hour, so I got up early this morning and I have come back and I have now purchased my ticket. I caught the funicular up here to the top of the castle and I'm now standing at a panorama balcony about to go in and explore, so I'll tell you about the castle as I walk around. But first of all, take a look at where I am. This is the panoramic balcony and you can see the castle and some of the towers up there. I've got a feeling we can go up there and take a look inside. But look at these magnificent views over the Austrian Alps and Salzburg just down below me as well. And look at that mountain. That was in clouds when I first got up here, so it has cleared a little bit. Snow at the top. It is about 0 degrees today, and it is not fixed to get any warmer than that really. Let me just show you one quick point of interest. There is a large mansion down there overlooking a lake. Well, that is the Von Trapp residence as it appeared in The Sound of Music. That's where they lived. It is these days a very luxurious hotel. Hohensalzburg, which is the name of the fortress, translates to English as High Salzburg, and that is because the fortress is built about 120 metres, about 400 feet above the level of the old town. The castle or fortress was first built in the 11th century under instruction from the archbishop who ruled at the time. And the reason it was built was to protect the city-state of Salzburg and the Prince Archbishop's interests here in the city. See the cannons ready for business. I'm in a fortified part now of the fortress itself. We're going to explore in a second, but here's a good little sign illustrating once and for all how high the castle is, or the fortress, above that of the old town, but also how it's changed over the years. So this was the original fortress in the 1100s. It was built as a castle, quite a basic one at that. And then in the 1500s, the Archbishop moved in and converted it more to a palace, also enlarged it at the same time. Later on in the 1500s, it was expanded and fortified, turned into a proper fortress then because of the threat of the Peasant War and the Ottomans. And then finally in the 1600s, it was fortified and strengthened and enlarged once again to that of what you see here today. We're going to head up into the museums and the stateroom, which is up this grand stone staircase. So this is the Golden Hall, which also served as a ballroom, and you can see it is decked out with incredible wooden walls and also this elaborate wood-panelled ceiling, which is held up by 4 large twisted marble columns. I'm now entering the main museum of the fortress, and there are loads and loads of things on display up here. It's actually really interesting. Over there you can see uniforms that were used here, weapons were on display, silverware that was used for perhaps not special occasions, probably every day of the week this stuff was used, and medals over here as well. All the rooms are themed out differently. So this one, for example, explores music in medieval times here in Salzburg, and it talks about the monk of Salzburg who wrote a lot of music and words and a lot of his material is still around today, but mysteriously enough, nobody knows for sure what his real name was. All they know is that he's referred to as the musical monk of Salzburg. Weapons in medieval times were used for one of four reasons, either for fighting, defence, deterrence, or to show power. And there's a lot of examples in this room about the various different weapons that were used back then, from small rifles all the way up to larger cannons. There's also some displays of body armour and shields that of course would have been used to avoid injury in battle. So that is Church of the Fortress. And out here there seems to be Christmas market set up. This is like a courtyard now. The main fortress is there. There we go. Right, I think what we're going to do is head inside the church. Heavy door. Okay, so we can't get all the way inside, but we can take a look through the fencing. Every fortress needed a place, an arsenal, an armoury to store weapons in. They needed to be kept secure and available so that during times of peace they were kept safely away from harm's way, but in times of war they were available at a moment's notice, and essentially that is what the building behind me there was used for. So once you've bought your ticket, that ticket allows you into, in my case, every area of the castle that's open to public. So all you do is when you're heading in there, you just scan the barcode on the back and it lets you in. So I'm going to try that now by heading into the panorama viewpoint, which I think is probably the main tower. So let's see how we go. There's my ticket. We'll go into the door here. Oh, a nice bit of warmth. It is cold out there today, so you can purchase a ticket up here, but no need when you've got this one right here. So let's see if we can get it to work. There we go. And we're in to the top. So we've got a little, well, I say a little, it's quite a large three-dimensional map of Salzburg. You can see the castle on the hill and the old town underneath. There we go, look at that. Okay, I think loads of information, by the way. I've got to say, if you are interested in fortresses and history, I would without a doubt recommend that. You spend pretty much the whole day here, especially in the winter when it's only light for 6-7 hours. So as we're heading up the tower now, this is the dungeon. Look at this. What a gruesome setting. Cold and eerie without a shadow of a doubt, and I think that might be where the dungeon was. Look at that. Used to, oh my goodness. Goodness knows what used to happen with that rope attached to that beam. But down there, you can see perhaps 10 metres below, there's coins at the bottom. I can see daylight. Here we go, it looks like Just a few more steps. And then I think we're at the highest point of the fortress. Pretty much. There is another tower opposite. But look at these spectacular views of the snow-covered Austrian Alps. This is Austria. And it's quite interesting because in that direction, towards Germany in the north, it is pretty much flat. So we are right at the foothills of the Alps. You can see another mountain there just behind the main fortress itself. Right, back down again. What a fascinating piece of history. It is just remarkable that you can come here, and as you're walking around, it does feel like you're walking around the past, maybe 400 or 500 years ago. Back out again, and I'm just heading through another small gate to another panoramic balcony that's going to give us some phenomenal views over the old town, so we'll check them out together. And no drone shots, by the way, because the airport is pretty close and we are in some kind of flight restriction zone, so I haven't got the drone out. But to be fair, you don't necessarily need a drone when you've got shots like this. Right, I think I'll go and have a look at the old town.